The strange and slightly creepy thing about being a writer who gives advice to other writers is that I know all of your fears. Every single one of them. And one of the biggest fears that writers have is being judged. The problem is that when you publish something, you also have another fear other than people judging you too harshly or hating what you publish. And that's that nothing will happen. No one will read it. No one will comment on it, like it, share it, buy it, care about it. We want so desperately to be paid attention to, for our stories to mean something, that we have this strong desire to publish our words, those words that we're so afraid people are going to criticize. And it's a dilemma none of us want to deal with, but one that every single one of us has to figure out how to handle. And that's not easy. And that's why I'm here. Because I understand what it's like to be pulled in two completely different directions, wanting so bad for someone to read your story and say, that was great. But also knowing that there's a possibility that they could read that same story and instead of saying it's great, say it's terrible. We don't want to be ignored. We don't want attention either. The wrong kind of attention anyway. There's a paradox here though. And that's that the more that you publish, the less you fear publishing. Now don't get me wrong. I publish a lot of things every single day, and sometimes, okay, admittedly a lot of the time, I'm not so sure that hitting that publish button is a great idea. I'm afraid that I've said something wrong or worded something strangely or have just written a bunch of garbage that doesn't even mean anything. We doubt ourselves a lot. We can't see the full value of our own work because we get inside our own heads too much. That's why we need other people to review our work and say, hey, this either makes a lot of sense, good job, or this totally sucks, do it again. We don't want someone else to read it sometimes because we're afraid. But we have to do it, and we do it. Some of us do. If you don't do it, you're probably here because you want to figure out how to do it. We put so much of our own value into our work. I don't think we can help it. I think that's just part of being a creative person. Creativity is your life. So when the children of your creativity are threatened, or put down or torn apart, how do you not take that personally? How do you not say, well, I worked really hard on that. Why didn't you like it? What's wrong with me? And then you spiral down into this whole, like, I'm a terrible writer. I'm not doing a good job. Should be doing better. That happens to all of us. That happens to me a lot. Not just because of who I am as a person, but just because I'm a writer, and we should question ourselves. We should be able to say, did I do as well as I could have done with this? What can I do better next time? That's an important part of being a writer. But how do we deal with all of this? Being too afraid to publish so we don't, but then feeling like we don't matter or that we're being ignored because we don't try. Or we do publish our work and it is ignored or not taken seriously, or we only make $1. Not that that's ever happened to me or anything like that. You just have to keep doing it. And I know that that's not what you want to hear. I know you want some kind of straightforward solution that will help you get through these fears. This dilemma of, do I do this and get torn apart? Or do I do it and no one cares? Or do I not bother doing it at all and feel even worse about myself? You have to keep doing it because even though it doesn't get easier, it's a lot less terrifying. You've never done this before. You've never shown people your work, or people have never paid this much attention to it before. You have to build up. I don't think turtles build their own shells, but okay, for the sake of the metaphor, you have to build your own shell over time. You have to learn how to just take it. And yeah, there are moments you're going to feel terrible. You're going to want to quit. We all have these moments, but the writers who make it, who succeed, whatever success might mean for you personally, those who get there move past those moments where they say, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm not sure I'm cut out for this, and they just keep going anyway. This is not easy. But if writing were easy, would we even bother? It's not a failing if you try your best and don't succeed. I mean, yes, technically, the dictionary definition of failure is that you did not succeed. But I prefer to think of it as not quite meeting your own expectations for yourself. You haven't yet. That doesn't mean you never will. Whether the next thing you publish is praised or shot down or nobody reads it, it's out there. You took that step. You did something so many writers have never been able to do. You published something. Remember that that's amazing. Just like you.